Hello, dear students. This is Malika. Now, today onwards, let me continue topic from first PUC part 1 book. That is already, I think you know, in laws of motion already started. Maybe you entered into the friction. So, let me continue from friction onwards. Okay, so let me start friction. So, write the heading. Friction. See, this is the subtopic from laws of motion. I hope you know Newton laws, means first law and second law and third law. And see, the subtopic of from Newton laws is friction. And anyhow, we know if any two bodies are in contact with each other, for suppose if a block which is placed on horizontal surface. So let us suppose a block which is placed on horizontal surface, a block of mass m which is placed on horizontal surface. Then there will be some contact force in between the block and surface. I think you know the name of the contact force. Okay, so once the block of mass m which is placed on horizontal surface, then there will be a contact force. Contact force. And see, this contact force is basically two types. This contact force basically two types. One, contact force which always acts perpendicular to the contact surface. See, one contact force acts perpendicular to the contact surface. See, this is the contact surface. One contact force acts from here, perpendicular to the contact surface of the body and the surface. And this contact force we can call it as normal reaction force. Normal reaction force. That is the force which acts perpendicular to the contact surface called as normal reaction force. The force which acts perpendicular to the contact surface called as normal reaction force. And one more force also acting in between the two surfaces. See, one more force also acting in between two surfaces. That force we can call it as a friction. Okay, now what is our target? We have to understand the meaning of friction, and later I am going to cover plenty of variety of concepts. Okay, right now let me start the meaning of only the friction. So friction, which is only the contact force. See, there will be one more contact. Perpendicular to the contact surface, we can call it as normal reaction. Parallel to the contact surface, this is the parallel to the contact surface. This is called as what? Friction. Generally, give proper definition. Parallel to the contact force is a frictional force. Perpendicular to the contact force is a normal reaction force. Okay. And see, the resultant contact force is in this direction. If this is the friction, the resultant is this is the direction of the contact force. Okay. First, suppose if a body which is moving on a horizontal surface, let us suppose a cycle is moving on a horizontal surface. Any vehicle which is moving on a horizontal surface, a car or a vehicle which is moving on horizontal surface. Then if the engine of the vehicle is switched off, if the engine of the vehicle switched off, then after traveling some distance, the car will come to rest. Yeah, after traveling some distance, the car will automatically comes to rest. That means some opposite force which is acting opposite to the motion of this car. Some force is acting opposite to the motion of this body. And see that force is act in between two surfaces which are in contact. Tell me where that force will act. That force will act in between two surfaces which are in contact. So here there will be an opposite force. Of course, here also there will be an opposite force. The force which always opposes the relative motion in between two surfaces which are in contact, call it as frictional force. What is frictional force? Very simple I am giving now. Of course, I can use some other language, but this is the easiest way to understand the meaning of friction. The force which opposes, okay, the force which acts always opposite to the in between two surfaces which are in contact, call it as frictional force. Keep in mind, whenever the two bodies are touched with each other, then there will be a friction in between them. If there is no touching, then there is no frictional force. Okay? So the force which opposes the relative motion in between two surfaces, the force which opposes the relative motion in between two surfaces which are in contact, call it as frictional force. And the phenomenon we can call it as friction. Okay, the phenomenon is nothing but what? Friction. And see, there are so many reasons for a friction. For suppose, if these two bodies are, if any two bodies are one over the other, if I place a duster on one more duster, okay, if I place something duster on one more duster, and see in between them what will be there? There will be a friction. And see, if you observe this duster above one more duster or something, and this is impossible to move. Why? Because there will be a frictional force and there will be an interlocking system in between them. What is that interlocking system? If you observe, this is through with a powerful microscope. Okay, generally we are observing with our naked eye. If you observe this is with a powerful microscope, then you are able to see some interlocking particle from here, locking the particle from the bottom. If you place two dusters one over the other, just then there will be a interlocking in between two dusters. And if you rub the two dusters, there will be a friction in between them. Means you need to apply some force to move the one duster above the other duster. Okay, and you can say that these surfaces are not smooth. In general, no surface is a perfectly smooth. Just perfectly smooth, nothing but it is an imaginary. It's an imaginary. Okay, every surface has something rough. See, for example, I am walking on the floor. Because of what? Friction. So the safe walking on the floor is possible by the person, by the animals or whatever may be. So safe walking on the floor is possible because of friction between our feet and floor. Okay, in between feet and floor, there will be a friction. Of course, no doubt this friction is a contact force. It is what? It is a contact force. So the safe walking on the floor is possible because of friction between feet and floor. And see, I am writing something on the board because of friction between chalk piece and board. So that this is somewhat rough. So there will be a friction between chalk piece and this board. So that I can write freely on a board. And see, I am holding this chalk piece. Why I am holding? How it is possible to hold a chalk piece in my hand? Because of friction between my fingers and the chalk piece. So many silly things these are actually. And see, we can fix this board to the wall with what? By using some screws so that the board will be fixed. Generally, we can drive the screw and bolts to the wall. Because of what? Because of the friction, the screw will move into the hole. So the nails and screws are driven into the walls because of what? The nails and screws are driven into the walls or boards because of friction.
Friction.
Okay. And see, if a vehicle wants to stop on a floor, generally we are going to apply brakes. Again, because of friction only, the vehicle can be stopped. Okay, there are so many things around us. See, these are few advantages. What are the best advantages now? Safe walking on the floor is possible. Safe walking on the floor is possible because of friction between floor and feet. Keep one point in your mind. Safe walking on the floor is possible because of friction between floor and our feet. And the nails and screws are driven into the walls or wooden boards because of friction. Okay, the vehicles can be stopped after applying the brakes. Why they stop? Because whenever you apply the brakes, they will stop automatically because the friction between floor and the tires. Let us see in what direction the friction will act. That's our target. That also I am going to continue in this time. And see, these vehicles can be stopped because of what? Friction only. And writing with a pen on a paper because of friction. General things. And these are some few advantages. And unlike this means, not only these advantages, few disadvantages also there because of friction. Very few. See, for example, if the vehicle runs continuously, what about the engine? His engine will be heated up or not?
Yes, sir.
If the vehicles runs for a lifelong, vehicle engine is started from the morning and it continuously it's running. What about the engine life? Will it be increases or decreases?
Decreases.
Yeah, automatically decreases. That means the lifetime of the engine parts decreases because of the friction only.
Friction.
And you see the tires of a car and a bus and vehicles. Okay, if it is a new bus, the tire is very good. After 1 year, what about the shape of the tire? Will it be same or is different?
Different, sir.
Definitely different. Definitely different. Because there is a shape out. Nothing but we can call it as a wear and tear. So the wear and tear. So wear and tear of machinery parts increases. The wear and tear of machinery parts increases. Okay. So because of friction, this is also loss. Wear and tear. Shape out is increases. Shape out is increases means it is not the use. It is also the disadvantage. Yeah, it is also the disadvantage. It's not a use. Wear and tear of machinery parts increases. And you see the strength of the engine, efficiency of the engine, efficiency of the engines decreases or increases if it runs continuously.
Decreases, sir.
Yeah, definitely decreases. So the efficiency, the strength of the engines are decreases because of frictions. See, these are very basic things, advantages like a 8th class, 9th class levels, and disadvantages. Yeah, generally we can expect. And see, I told that already. Every surface is not a smooth because smooth is nothing but it is an ideal concept. Every surface has something friction. friction cannot be zero. It cannot be zero. Okay. So let us try to reduce the friction by following some methods. Very basic methods. These are also very basics. After covering all these basics, let me start some good level of problems. Okay. So there are some methods to reduce the friction to some amount, but not completely. So there are some methods to reduce the friction. So let me write few methods. This is also the basic methods to reduce friction. Methods to reduce friction. See, there are four methods. One is polishing. I hope you know these basic things, but anyhow, no problem. Listen once again. So in a first class, I can't move directly into the problem, so let me take some time. See, there are some four methods to reduce the friction. Friction cannot be eliminated permanently. Impossible to get a zero friction. Everywhere friction is there if the surfaces are in contact. Otherwise, there is no friction. Okay. See, polishing the surfaces. By polishing the surfaces, we can reduce the friction. Just you see the benches that where you are sitting. Benches are smooth. Okay, not permanently smooth, not perfectly smooth. So, by polishing the surfaces, we can reduce the friction. Okay, the doors, windows, everything is polished because to reduce the friction. Okay, if the door is polished moderately or the board is polished, this board is polished. If I hold my hand like this, if I place my hand, now somewhat okay, little bit rough is there, but if you compare with the wall, this is something smooth. If it is polished heavily, if I place my hand like this, then what happens? Will my hand will come out? It won't come. If it is polished heavily, I think you know some names, cohesive forces, adhesive forces. Do you know these names? Cohesive forces and adhesive forces.
Yes.
Yeah, what is cohesive forces? Force of attraction between same kind of molecules. What is adhesive force? Force of attraction between
Different kind of molecule.
Different kind of molecule.
If it is heavily polished, then the cohesive forces will dominate. Okay, if it is heavily polished. Okay. So if it is heavily polished, the friction will increases. So by polishing the surfaces, friction will increase. Sorry. Okay, increases. And see, by polishing the surfaces which are in contact, then friction is reduced to some extent. Friction is reduced to some extent. By polishing the surfaces which are in contact, the friction is reduced to some extent. And one more way is possible by using lubricants. By using lubricants, nothing but what? Grease, oils and grease. So this lubricant is a substance which is used to reduce the friction between two surfaces which are in contact. Okay, if you add a oil drops in between two surfaces which are in contact, if you add oil drops in between two surfaces which are in contact, then friction will be decreases because the bodies will move freely. Okay, they will slide actually. Okay, here friction means lubricant is a substance which is used to reduce the friction. Lubricant is a substance which is used to reduce the friction between two surfaces which are in contact. So lubricant behaves like a one small thin polythene cover so that it can slide freely. So lubricant is a substance which is used to reduce the friction in between two surfaces which are in contact. Okay, one more also possible by using ball bearings. Ball bearings, some small spherical balls you know in a cycle. Okay, there is a small spherical balls, spheres. They will fit at the mid end of the tire. Okay, central part of the tire. So the free wheels of vehicles, all the vehicles almost, the free wheels of the vehicles having some ball bearings, okay, some spherical ball system, having some ball bearings to reduce the friction. Okay, so the free all the wheels of the motor cars and everything, cycle especially. So the free wheels of vehicles are provided with ball bearings to reduce the friction.
How will it reduce?
Yeah, it will. So the area, okay. How?
So how will that reduce friction?
So that is a smoothness because the spherical body will roll freely comparing to the other body. Okay, that's why it will reduce. Okay, and see, so the ball bearings will reduce the friction. And one more is there. I think this one also streamlining. Streamlining. See the shape of the vehicles. Car is in some different shape. Bus like a rectangular shape. See the aeroplane. Okay, see the aeroplane. It is like some bird in shape. See, different vehicles have some different design. Okay, these designs will help in decrease the friction due to air. So aeroplanes and automobiles have some special construction. Aeroplanes and automobiles have some special construction to reduce the friction due to air. Okay, there is an aerodynamic lift, dynamic lift, so that will come in some other chapters. We will see in mechanical properties of fluid and other things. Okay, so aeroplanes and automobiles have some special construction to reduce friction due to air. See, these are the basic idea about the friction. See, what I covered, only the words I covered, the meaning of friction, and few advantages, general thing, few disadvantages, and some methods I explained here. What is the friction? It is the force which always opposes the relative motion in between two surfaces which are in contact. And see, is the frictional force is a contact force or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Contact force.
Yeah, it is what? Contact.
Contact force.
Yeah, frictional force is a contact force. And see, let us see in what direction exact the frictional force will act. Okay, for example, if I am moving on a floor, I apply a force on a floor, you know the action and reaction pair. So tell me, is the friction is a action and reaction pair? Tell me, is the frictional force is the action and reaction pair? Is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
From students from online,
Yes, sir.
is it contact force? Is it action and reaction force? Yes, it is action and reaction force. Why? Because if I walk on a floor, of course some action is on me, reaction on my floor. That is common, you know, from Newton's third law. Tell me the friction. If any person walk on person, frictional force is backward. And on floor, forward. Keep in mind. On person, frictional force is backward. On floor, some forward. Let us see exact direction. Not only this one. Let us see the exact direction. And next you will see normal reaction force and few formulas with a small level of motions. For suppose a cycle is paddling. You know, cycle paddling. Okay. A cycle is moving on a floor. A cycle is accelerating. An accelerated cycle. Okay, a bicycle or a cycle. Cycle is accelerating. Accelerating. You know the meaning of accelerating. Okay. It increases the speed. See the direction of the force of friction on front wheel and back wheel. On front and back wheel. Yeah. A cycle is accelerating with certain something acceleration. Tell me the direction of friction on front and back wheel. Yeah. On front wheel, see this is the front wheel. On front wheel, the frictional force is backward. Okay, this is the direction of the frictional force. On floor, forward. Keep in mind. On front wheel, what is the direction of frictional force? If I move, like a person I drawn just now. On front wheel, the frictional force is backward. And on floor, friction. See, this is the reason to move the body on a floor. If this is not there, is the body will move. Actually, this is the main reason to move the body. We are moving on a floor because of what? Because of friction. Okay. Now here, frictional force is acting on backward direction on a front tire. What about the back tire? Back tire. Actually, to explain about this back tire, you need to know some torque concept. But torque concept is there in the coming chapters. Torque, some force and distance. If you enter into the door, you need to apply a torque because the door will rotate. Actually, you know, force. What is the force? Which is the physical quantity used to set the body into motion, or otherwise used to stop the body of a moving object. In the same manner, torque will help for rotating the bodies. You wait for next chapter. Torque, okay. That is also the force and some other value, distance is there. So that due to the torque, okay, due to the torque, the frictional force on this back tire is forward like this, on floor back. Because see, this is action and reaction floor. Sorry, action and reaction force. I think you know, action and reactions are the pair of forces. Will they act on the same body? Will they act on the same body?
No, sir.
Okay, action is on. Now, my action is on floor, reaction on me. Because I am standing on a floor. My action is on floor, reaction on me. So, action and reactions are the pair of forces always acts on two different objects. Okay, two different ways. Here, this is the direction of the frictional force. Okay, don't think that frictional force is always opposite to the motion of a body. It may be in the direction of the force, it may be in the direction of motion of the body, or opposite to the motion of the body. So keep in mind, right now, direction of the frictional force on accelerated cycle is this. If it is decelerated, tell me the direction of the frictional force. If it is decelerated, both frictional forces acting on front and back tire will be backward. Okay, decelerated. Not only this, if you use the block over the block, so that is the good concept in this chapter actually. Block on block concept is there. I think you know how to draw the free body diagrams in the previous chapter, in the previous sessions, like in FBD concept. Here by using FBD, we will see in what direction exact the frictional force will act. Okay, don't think that frictional force will act opposite to the motion of a body. No, it's not possible in all the cases. If you see the block on block concept, that will come maybe after 2 to 3 sessions. So there we can understand what is the direction of the friction. Okay, and see direction of the friction based on the applied force. And first suppose they given a block which is placed on some horizontal surface. So they given a block. So this is also the basic thing. A block of mass m, and the force which always acts perpendicular to the contact surface, we can call it as normal reaction force. And what is there here? Some friction. Yeah, this friction we can call it as static friction. There are 3 different types of frictions. Okay, there are 3 different types of frictions. So let me give you the basic idea. The different types of frictions are: one is static friction. Other one is kinetic friction. Other one is rolling friction. Static, kinetic, rolling frictions. So in a simple way, static friction nothing but if any one body rests on other surfaces. See here the block is rest on other surfaces. Then what is present in between them? Some friction is there, and that name we can call it as static friction. The frictional force present when one body rests over the surface of another body called as static frictional force. The frictional force present when one body rests on surface of another body. In between the two rest surfaces, static frictional force will be there. It will exist. So the frictional force present when one body rests on another body, call it as static frictional force. Okay. And if this body moves with certain speed, if a body moves with certain speed, again there will be a friction in between the body and the surface. So we can define in the easiest way. Okay, we can write some resistance force, often some other things I can teach, but no. The frictional force present in between two rest surfaces called as what? The frictional force present in between two rest surfaces, we can call it as static friction. Okay. And it is the self-adjusting friction. I'll tell you what is that self-adjusting friction. Okay, just a minute, I'll tell you. And if any body is moving on a floor, the frictional force present when one body moves over the surface of another body, then that frictional force we can call it as kinetic friction. See the simple words. When the frictional force present when one body moves over the surface of another body, nothing but kinetic friction. In the same way, we can define the rolling friction also. We can define that. Tell me, how you will get a rolling friction? The frictional force present when one body rolls over the surface of another body. Very simple. The frictional force present when one body rolls over the surface of another body, we can call it as rolling frictions. So we can represent with this is with FA. We can call it as a dynamic friction also sometimes. Okay, it is dynamic friction, not sometimes. Okay, and this is FR, rolling frictions. So this is possible when one body rests over the surface of another body, and this is possible when one body moves over the surface of another body. And this is very simple when one body rolls over the surface of another body. Okay, and see, every frictional force have some properties. They have some laws. Okay, so let me continue that also. After that, we will see some problems. So let us see what are the laws of frictions.
So,
Yeah,
difference between kinetic
kinetic
and rolling friction difference. What is
in this last. Okay, see. Here, there are some laws of frictions. And see, this static friction is a self-adjusting force, a self-adjusting friction. Okay, I'll tell you what is that. First, suppose a body is placed on horizontal surface. If I applied a force on this block, for example, if I applied a force in this direction with a F, tell me what direction the frictional force will be set up in between the block and this surface.
Opposite direction.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, it will be opposite direction. First, suppose I applied 10 Newton of force. I applied something 10 Newton of force on a block. Tell me how much the frictional force acting on the block. I applied 10 Newton of force. Very simple, very easy number. I applied 10 Newton of force on a block. Then how much the frictional force developed in between the block? Okay, that is based on the mass.
10 Newton.
Yeah,
10 Newton only, sir. 10 Newton.
10 Newton. Okay, it is 10 Newtons. See, frictional force is proportional to
right force?
applied force.
Applied force.
Right or not? You know this thing, I think. Frictional force proportional to applied force. For suppose I am trying to move this block with a force F. Then if applied force increases, what about the frictional force? If applied force is
It
increases,
also increases, sir.
It also increases.
for example, you are sitting in front of me. If I try to pull up with your hair or with your some head? Will you come up? No. If if my force is increases, automatically you are going to increase your force. If I apply something 10 Newton on you, you are also increases 10 Newton between you and where you are sitting. Got it? If I increases the force, then still your force is increases and reaches to maximum value. Okay, you have some capacity of increasing your force, something 50 Newton. I try to apply the 50 Newton. Then that is the maximum value of your force. Okay. So here, if applied force is increases, frictional force between you and your floor also increases and reaches to some peak stage, saturation. That maximum value of static friction. We can call it, yeah, maximum value of static friction, call it as what? Limiting friction. Maximum value of static friction, call it as limiting friction. Okay, if you imagine a graph, you will get one graph also. See, you have a capacity of something 50 newtons, energy, the force. I applied some 60. Then what about you? Will you stay at the same place or will you come out? Your come out means static friction is converted into what? Static friction is converted into
Kinetic friction.
kinetic friction. Just to imagine a block placed on horizontal surface, one more block is connected through the pulley and you increase the load slowly. For a particular amount of load, the block will ready to move or not? See, I think you know in previous concepts, one block, one more block. If this is something M1, this is M2. If these two are having same masses, maybe this block is ready to move. If this is little bit more, then what about this block? It is ready to move, and after reaching the maximum value of the static friction, then this block will move in certain speed. That means what type of frictional force will come into play? Once the block is in motion, static friction is converted into kinetic friction or not? If you imagine a graph, the graph is looks like this. So let us suppose this is the applied force and this is the frictional force. Starting applied force is proportional to, so let me right here, I think it's not visible. This is force applied by you and this is the frictional force. See, as the applied force increases, frictional force also
Increases.
reaches to maximum value. The frictional force is reaches to maximum value. The maximum value of this frictional force we can call it as a limiting friction FL. Okay, limiting friction FL. After reaching the maximum value, still if the applied force is increasing, then frictional force decreases little and move with a constant speed. Then what is this meaning now? This is the indication for what? Is it indication for the static friction or what?
Kinetic friction.
Kinetic friction.
Kinetic friction. So after reaching the maximum value of static friction, then the frictional force is converted into kinetic friction. So keep this graph in mind. So graph between frictional force with respect to what? Applied force. This is the applied force. On x-axis I written applied force. Have you seen? On x-axis I have written applied force. On y-axis I have written frictional force. Okay. So this is F applied. Is it visible? F applied.
Yes, sir.
Now it is visible? Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
And see, let us see some laws of frictions. See the static friction. And it is a self-adjusting friction, self-adjusting force. Okay. And this static friction is independent of area of contact. Why? Because whatever the force you apply, then frictional force also increases. If it is 10 Newton, static friction acting on the body is 10 Newton. If it is converted into some other value, maybe the value will be changes. Okay, until the body will move, this frictional force is proportional to applied force. Okay, and static friction is the self-adjusting friction, and it is independent of the area of contact, and static friction proportional to normal reaction force. Every frictional force proportional to normal reaction force. So this is the law of friction. Frictional force proportional to normal reaction force. And we can write F is proportional to N. Remove the proportionality. Let us introduce some constant. Let me call it as mu suffix S. Mu S. N. Fs is equals to what? Mu S N.
Plus N.
Yeah, what is this mu S? Mu S is equals to F by N. This mu S, we can call it as coefficient of
Friction.
Static friction.
friction. Mu S is called as coefficient of static friction. Okay, so frictional force proportional to normal reaction force, and Fs is proportional to N, and I remove a proportionality, then I introduce a constant that I call it as mu S. Mu S we can write as Fs by N. So this is the coefficient of static friction. In the same way, kinetic friction also proportional to normal reaction force. Kinetic friction also proportional to normal reaction force, of course independent of area of contact. And no doubt, the kinetic frictional force always opposite to the motion of a body. Okay, if a body is moving, then the kinetic friction is opposite to the motion of a body. Kinetic frictional force is opposite to it acts opposite to the motion of a body. Keep in mind, it is always acts opposite to the motion of a body. If this is moves, then it will act opposite to the motion of a body. Whenever the body rolls, then we will take direction of the friction by using the previous. As the cycle is accelerating on front tire, in which direction the frictional force is acting? Yeah, both tires is opposite or not? If both are acting backside, will the vehicle will move?
No, sir.
The friction will help in moving the vehicle. In a front tire, if the frictional force is acting backward. In a back tire, if the frictional force is acting backward, how it will move? No doubt that the vehicle will decelerate. The vehicle will decelerate means what? After some interval of time, vehicle will comes to rest or not? Decelerate means what? I think you know in kinematics.
Yes, sir.
Retardation, negative acceleration. When the vehicle comes to rest, then we can find what distance it is going to cover before coming to rest. I hope you remember like v square minus u square is equal to 2as. And to find the stopping distance. Earlier, the chapters are without friction in kinematics and other things. Now, with the friction, let us find how to find out the stopping distance of the vehicle. A vehicle of mass something starts with something 5 km per second. I'll give you some questions. Okay. Vehicle starts with certain speed, and after applying the brakes, the vehicle decelerates. Then at what distance it will come before coming to rest? If they given the deceleration, we can find the distance covered by the vehicle before coming to rest. Not only distance, we can find at what time interval the vehicle will comes to rest. We can find at what time interval the vehicle comes to rest. I think you know some idea about to find the time. Okay, how to find the time? There are two options. One is v is equal to u plus at.
Or S is equal to UT plus half it.
But the conditions are important. Okay, when vehicle comes to rest, that means v is 0. Tell me which one is convenient equation? V is equal to u plus
Is equals to U plus 80.
AT.
because we are using only for uniformly accelerated motions. We are going to use the kinematic equations. If the vehicle moves with a speed v, with a constant speed, will you apply kinematic equations? First, you should get a clear idea when you have to use kinematic equations, when not to use kinematic equations. Okay, when you have to use kinematic equations, when body moving with certain acceleration, then you can go for kinematic equations, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, based on the given data. If it moves with a constant speed, will you use kinematic equations? For suppose
No, sir.
two cars are moving at a constant speed, we can find when and where the two cars will meet. In that case, will you use any kinematic equations?
No, sir.
No,
Because if the two cars are moving with constant speed, we cannot use kinematic equations. If one is moving with acceleration, other one is moving with speed. Yes, for this accelerated body, you can go for kinematic equations.
Kinematic
For
equation.
the uniform speed means what is acceleration? Uniform speed.
0.
Yeah, Zero or not? Okay.
Zero.
So let us come to this one. See, static friction, kinetic friction, rolling friction. No doubt all the frictional forces are proportional to normal reaction force. If I write for a kinetic friction, then kinetic friction also proportional to what? Kinetic frictional force also proportional to
Normal reaction force.
Normal reaction force.
yeah. Let me write in a direct way. Next I will enter some problem. Fk we can represent with Fk proportional to n.
M.
So Fk which is equivalent to mu k.
Mu K in
So mu k is equals to Fk.
F yes by.
In the same manner, for rolling friction, of course, it is also proportional to normal reaction force. And see, rolling friction proportional to normal reaction force. Rolling friction also is equal to mu r n. So mu r is equals to F r by n. Okay. And see, which frictional force is maximum? Static, kinetic, or rolling? No doubt, static frictional force is better
Kinetic
than
friction.
and
Kinetic
better than-
friction.
at the same
Rolling.
time, mu is better than mu k greater than mu r. And let us see how to identify the normal reaction force when a block is on horizontal flow. Okay, when a block is on inclined flow. If one block over the other block, two blocks, three blocks, let us see how to identify the normal reaction force. Anyhow, it is a contact force. It is a contact force. Let us given one block is on horizontal surface, then you know very clear N is balanced by what? Because this is the basic thing you covered in the previous sessions. If a block which is placed on horizontal surface, normal reaction force is balanced by mg.
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 One over the other. If two blocks, there are two normal reactions or one normal reaction? Two,
Two.
Two.
not one. How it is one? Normal reaction is a contact force or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You feel correctly now. Basic things these are. Maybe in the next class, I'll give you some good level of problems. Slowly I will enter into the problems now. If two blocks, one over the other, tell me how many normal reactions are possible?
Two normal reactions, sir.
Normal reaction, sir.
One is at the floor, one is in between the two blocks.
Two
Because
blocks.
contact force. If it is three normal reactions, let us see in a direct way. Yeah, anyhow, we got some idea about normal reaction force. Okay, if it's already learned, means it's very happiest thing. I thought maybe you don't know the basics right now. That's why I started with very basics. Otherwise, I will have to start some direct problems. But let me, in a first class, let me start with very basic idea. Okay, to get some confidence. Let me know what you learned so far. That's why I'm going to start with again the basics. A block is placed on horizontal surface, then very clear. N is balanced by what? N is balanced
Mg.
by Mg. Yeah.
Mg.
Fine. If two blocks, let us suppose this is M1, one more block is placed. I'm not discussing the friction right now, just I am writing only the equation for normal reaction. This is M2. And see, here there will be a N1 normal reaction, here there will be a N2 normal reaction.
N2.
I know free body diagram concept, FBD. Okay, and that will use how many forces which are acting on a body. FBD will use what? Number of forces acting on a body.
Body.
Now, weight of this M1 acts vertically. Weight of M1
M1G.
vertically downwards. Okay, weight of this one. And see, N1 on this block, just you draw the free body diagram for only M1. Imagine free body diagram only for M1. Forget about the M2. Forget about M2, draw only for M1. So, on M1, see this is M1 I am drawing, only M1. M1, what is there upward? N1,
N1, sir.
got it? What is this?
G.
M1G, sir.
M1G. What is M1G? And see, this is not complete. Still some forces are acting on this. What about this one? On this M1, one more force is acting downward or not? Children, into
M2G.
into. See, very simple. Let me draw a little bit so that you will get some correct picture. Very simple. This is not a tough.
So can you write upwards, sir? It's not visible clearly.
Yeah, shall I draw? Okay. Because I don't know where it is. Okay. So let me draw here. Is it okay? Visible? Here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take it. M1. M1G. Okay. Now coming to the M2. Here N2. So N2 starts from here. Got it? N2.
Yes, sir.
M2 is upward. And N2 is it a normal reaction, contact force or not? Contact force means
Contact force, sir.
action and reaction force. N2 upward means some more N2 will be downward. Is it? See, normal reaction force is a contact force and is a pair of force. It will act on two different objects. One is upward on M2. Quite opposite to other one is. Are you following this one? N2 up, N2 down. Why? Because it is the action and reaction pair.
Yes, sir.
See, N2 on M2 is up. On M1
Down.
downward. Why? Because it is the action reaction pair.
Yes, sir.
This is N2 and on M1 N2. And see, N1 up. N1 down.
Down.
Because N1 starts from here. N1 on first body up. N1 on first body on floor down. Just you see only forces acting on M1. Forces acting on M1. Forces acting on M1 is N1 up. N1 up. Weight of the body down. One more is acting downward. Tell me. If I standing on a floor, I am exerting normal reaction on floor. Floor exerting normal reaction on me. Just you see in between two blocks, N2 on M2 is up. Opposite N2 will be there on other blocks or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It will
sir.
be there.
N2 and N2. Here N1 up on first block. N1 down on where? On
Ground.
floor. Yeah. Just let us know only diagram of M2. Diagram of M2 you feel it correctly. Diagram of M2 very basic thing this is actually. Diagram of M2 only M2. Tell me how many forces are acting on only M2. N2 up. N2 up. This is up. Weight of this block.
Downwards.
Weight of this block.
M2G.
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 M2 G. Then one is N2. M2G.
Yes,
M2
sir.
is what? M2G.
M2G.
Coming to the M1. M1. See, N2 is what? Force exerted by. Tell me the name. N2 is
Second
like,
block.
From students.
Force exerted by M2, sir.
Yeah, force exerted by M2 on
On M1.
M1.
on M1. Then
M1.
M1G down and one more is there, N2. Then what is
N2.
N1? Upward force balanced by equilibrium. Upward force balance
N2 plus M1G.
N2 plus M1G.
M1G. Then N1 is equals to what is N2? Just now we got M2G.
M2G plus
M2G.
M1G.
M1G. I think you are confusing this one. Let me
M1 plus M2, sir.
Yeah. If 3 blocks are there, 4 blocks are there, n blocks, 1 block is removed. Let us see all those things. Now, at least you got some idea about this, how N1 is acting, how N2 is acting.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
For suppose 3 blocks, you try with 3 blocks. This is your duty. You try with 3 blocks. Okay, I will give you directly now. Simple technique. Nothing technique this one. Here, what type of force will act? N1. And what is this? N2. What is this? N3. N1 above, how many blocks are there?
Two blocks.
Three.
N1 above this point. How many blocks are there? 3. N1 is equals to M1 plus M2 plus M3
into G.
Above N2, how many blocks are there?
2 blocks.
Two blocks.
Plus M3 into G.
M3G.
N2, how many are there?
M3G, sir.
M3G.
You want, you draw the correct free body diagram. Here, N3, for, see, N3 up. N3 up on where? M3. And what is this N3? What is this N3? N3 is the force exerted by
Mass of
M3.
M3 by N3 is the force exerted by M3
Block.
on
Second block.
very good. So in the same way you try to draw the free body diagram. If 4 blocks are there, N1, N2, N3, N4. What is N4 for 4 blocks? M1, M2, M3, M4. What is
M1,
N4? N4 I am asking N4.
M4G,
M1 plus
sir.
M2 plus
M4G,
M3 plus
sir.
M4G.
N1.
M1 plus M2 plus
M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 into G.
Okay. So this is basic idea. Okay. If a block is placed on inclined plane, you know how to resolve the components. Okay. So let me. Are you getting this idea at least? This is, don't feel as a complicated. Nothing is nothing complicated. Okay. Very simple. Action reaction. I think you know 2 blocks are in contact. A block A, block B. Force exerted by A on B, which is equivalent to force exerted by B on A. FAB is equal to minus FBA. Newton's third law.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Action
sir.
reaction force. Normal, what I started, I started a class with what? Contact force. That's why I started the word contact force. It will be there in between 2 surfaces, and I told this is what? Action reaction force.
Reaction force.
Reaction force is the contact force. Frictional force also. Contact force or
Contact
not?
force. Contact force. Yes, sir.
If it is backward, on floor, forward, on floor. You identify where the frictional force is acting. In problems, you will get some clear picture. Okay? So, I think time. That's, thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll see some good problems in the next class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
The stop button or anything? Shall I? Yeah? Ready, find out?
Yes, sir.
Ready. Disconnect.